Like most of us, I keep my change in some pretty predictable spots around the house. But this is neither secure nor aesthetically pleasing. Let's see if we can fix that. My plan for the coin bank is to basically make a partial box, stick that on a base, and have clear acrylic on the front and back so you can see your cash piling up inside. I delved into my shelves and pulled out some oak for the top and sides, and some hefty beech for the base. The first step is to rip this oak down to width, in this case 2.5 inches. There will be 3 pieces of this, 2 sides and the top. But before I break this down, I'll cut the grooves that will hold the acrylic in place. It's easier to just do it once instead of 3 times, and it ensures everything lines up perfectly when they're assembled. I'll run it through, spin it around, and do the other side. With those done, now I can cut my 3 pieces to their final lengths. These will be joined with mitered corners, so I'll tilt the blade to 45 degrees and run them through. So those will look something like this. Now for the coin slot in the top. I'll mark the center, drill a small hole on each end, then use the scroll saw to connect them. Once it's cut out, I'll use a file to clean it up and soften the edges with a strip of sandpaper. Then I'll glue these 3 pieces together. With miter joints, it's helpful to tape the outside of the corner to create a hinge so the pieces don't slip around. Then you can just fold it up. With only 3 sides, I have a couple 1, 2, 3 blocks to hold it all square with a clamp while it dries. To give strength and dashing good looks to the joints, I'm going to add some splines. I'll cut those from 1/4 inch walnut, 2 for each corner. With a few stop blocks and the blade raised to the right height, I can just push the corners into the table saw, giving me quick and easy spline slots. I'll scoot the stop block over and repeat until the splines fit. When it's barely a hair too tight, a piece of tape on the stop block adds just enough thickness to make the next cut perfect. Alright, those look good. Now the 4 splines get glued in. While those dry, I'll start on the base. Once I saw the oak sides on the beech, I decided it was way too thick for the base, so I found a thinner piece of yellow birch to use instead. This is actually the same board I made my lyre from a few years ago. First, I'll cut it down to size. There will be 2 grooves on top of the base, so all 4 sides of the acrylic can sit in a slot. These won't go all the way across the wood, which means I need to start and stop the router before the ends. I'll mark some positions and set up a fence, then make a few passes with an 1/8 inch bit. Okay, that's not good. Things really went off the rails on one side and it's totally misaligned. I'll just flip it over and use the other side. Either I marked wrong or offset things in the wrong direction. Whatever I did, I fixed it the second time around, and all is well. Next, the base needs an opening to get the coins out. I couldn't find a suitable rubber or plastic plug, so I came up with an idea involving magnets that just might work. I'll drill a hole all the way through the center with a 1 1/8 inch Forstner bit. Then on each side of that, I'll drill about halfway through. The extra stuff gets chiseled out. For the stopper, I'm going to cut a 1 1/8 inch circle from this 1/4 inch oak, staying just outside the line. Then sand it until it fits in the hole I drilled. Same thing for the base plate. This is 1/2 inch walnut, which I'll cut out, then sand down to fit. To make a grabbable finger grip, I'll drill 2 holes partway through the walnut with a 3/4 inch bit. Seems like that will work. There will be magnets in the base and stopper assembly, so I'll bore shallow holes for those. And those 2 pieces get glued together. The base will be attached with screws. Pilot holes are necessary in this hard wood, so I'll drill and counterbore them now. You'll notice some dowel plugs in there. When I did a test fit, the base and sides were off-center, just enough to bother me, so I filled them in and I'm re-drilling them here. Fortunately, all these weird little mistakes are hidden away on the bottom of everything. Now back to those splines. I'll saw them off, then slice them down with a chisel. There was a small void in this one, and a couple spots in the miters, but those can easily be filled with some wood glue and oak dust. Never to be seen again. With the 3-sided box complete, I can measure and cut the acrylic to fit the grooves. This is thin material, so it's super easy to cut on the table saw. Just leave the protective film on until it's being installed. All the pieces are done, so I can do a test fit before finishing things up. The base gets a round over, then lots of sanding over everything to smooth it out and ease the sharp edges. Then I'll rub on an oil finish. Once that's dry, the magnets can be glued into place. I've marked the sides that will be glued to make sure they stay in the proper orientation. The last order of business is to clamp things together and drill pilot holes into the sides, using the existing holes in the base as a guide. Finally, it can be assembled. The film comes off the acrylic, and that drops right in. Then I'll put a small amount of glue on the sides, then drive in the screws. And this coin bank is done. I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. The walnut splines really add an elevated touch to the otherwise plain corners. And the stopper on the bottom works well. It holds tightly, but is easy to remove. Now all that's left to do is start saving some pennies. Thanks for watching.